Welcome back, guys. Quivs here. Quivs does stuff. This will be episode 7 of our Astroneer Let's Play playthrough. Trying out the half-hour format, since my most common comments on my previous videos was that an hour is too long to watch. So we're giving this a go, but as if you watch the previous 2 episodes that are only half an hour long, I did say that I find you don't get enough done in just half an hour. But we're going to try it anyway. So yes, episode 8. This will be episode 8. This will be episode 7. This will be episode... No, it's definitely 7. Alright, yeah, so what have we got left to do? Smelting furnace or centrifuge. Can make a chemistry lab, but it'll be a while before I find tungsten. But that's okay, we will eventually find tungsten on this planet, and we'll be able to make a chemistry lab. We are still getting a lot more bytes in research because of the nature of Calidor. Calidor is... I might move this back here, just because. Calidor, again, the further you progress into the game, the more bytes you get for research samples on that particular planet, as compared to previous planets that you've been on. So research sort of accelerates really fast the further you get into the game, which is why it sort of behooves you to get off the first planet as quickly as possible and move on to the next one. Now, in the previous video we sort of discussed how Calidor could kind of have been skipped because there's no new resources on this planet. It is basically just malachite and tungsten, both of which we already have places we can get those. The base planet, silver for malachite, and the moon, de Solar, we can get tungsten there, wolframite. But, you know, we're here now. We might as well set up a base. Another one of the reasons to visit Calidor, and I'll show you here, is because it has hydrogen and sulfur, and I believe this is the first planet, or the earliest planet, where you can get sulfur. There's not a lot of things that use sulfur, but it is a gas that you're going to need. But it'll be a while before we're actually... Actually, I'm not even sure. Let's have a look-see. Atmospheric condenser. Plastic. Iron, yeah. So it's not until you sort of get to planets where you can get iron that you can make an atmospheric condenser, so it's not going to come in very handy just yet. But that being said, there's a nice big deposit of malachite here, so we will fill up. And take that back to the surface. I'm going to have to look into making... I'm going to have to find some aluminium because I have to make a new thruster, because I won't be able to return home until I do. Because my thruster is broken. Oh, I could have gotten rid of that organic for another spot, but oh well, doesn't matter. But yeah, we will... It's not that important for me to make a chemistry lab on this planet this early. So I'm basically just going to be prepping to take a whole load of malachite home because it's sort of the most appropriate thing to do. And moving on to the next planet, which, if memory serves, is Vesania? Let's look it up, shall we? Calidor, Vesania. And that is where we find lithium for the first time, and also titanite for the first time. You have to descend pretty far to find titanite, or you can find it up in the hills sometimes, but it's kind of hard to find it up in the hills as well. You tend not to land near any hills too. But yeah, so lithium will be the next thing that we sort of get. Vesania has a moon called Novus, and that is the first place that you can get iron. You can also get lithium there, but that is the first place that you can get iron. And iron is kind of the next level of stuff that you want, but I want batteries, so I'm going to go first to Vesania. Also because during the course of this Let's Play, I'm going to build a base on every single planet, so I've got somewhere to land on every single planet that's prepped and ready to go for whatever I need to do there. So we will, of course, be going to Novus. We will be going to Glacio, Titanite, and Hematite. You can pretty much skip Glacio. And then last, of course, Atrox. No resources on Atrox, just gases, and I believe it's the only place you can get methane? Not sure. Anyway. That's sort of the planetary progression, although that's not the only form of progression in the game. Alright. Definitely want that to be being researched, rather than wasting time. What did I want? What did I come back up here for? To dump off, I need to get soil into my soil centrifuge so I can make an ammonia. I can dump this used fuel thruster. Ammonia. Ammonium. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I think I remember there was a resource node of ammonia around here somewhere. But oh well, I don't know where it is. Let's head back down, see if we can find some aluminium. I believe I saw some before. I just basically need to make a path walking over to it now. Oh yes, that's not even hard. It's like just over here. Kill this thing before he kills me. See if he dropped me any research samples. It did. He also had a research item buried underneath him. Very nice. Take that for sure. Remember to take that back upstairs when the time comes. Keep heading towards this aluminium. Let's have a decent power tether so that I can harvest in peace. Let's get a couple of bits of aluminium so I've got a few bits sitting around when I need it later. That'll do, 3 will do. I only need 1 now and I can get more later. I'm also going to need more of this malachite, so we'll grab a bit of that while I'm here. Yep, perfect. Back upstairs. Yes, in addition, I will also point out that I haven't stopped my Let's Plays for the other games, but Astroneer seems to have been really popular, so I decided I will make sure I do plenty of Astroneer Let's Plays frequently, and the others will somewhat take a back seat, but I won't be stopping them. My intent is to do... should really be Terraria today. So I'll probably do another episode of my Terraria Let's Plays if you are interested in that. Should also be coming out soon. There is the matter of editing and prepping, which needs to be done. It's not an instantaneous thing. Solid fuel thruster. And ammonia. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been in Terraria. I'm not even sure where I was up to with that. I think we'd just done the Eater of Worlds for the first time and died after killing the Eye of Cthulhu. No point talking about it in here. This is the wrong Let's Play to talk about it. What else do we have to do here? Like I said, we're just going to get everything ready and get off planet. I could make another medium storage, or I could just use one of these. I think I'll just use one of these. There wasn't that much to do on Calidor. I really should have looked it up before I came here. So we'll fill this up with malachite. Put it on my ship. And then I need to fill up my backpack with malachite. So there's 2 there. We'll just go and fill up the backpack and leave those 2. You never know, they might come in handy later on the planet itself. Oh, I forgot to take that up with me. Oh well, I'll do that next time. Alright, a whole bunch more malachite. Wonder why it's called malachite. Was it discovered by someone called Malachi? I know it's incredibly hard. Like, I think it's up there with diamond as one of the hardest substances. Real malachite. It is a very pretty green color as well. It's kind of shiny in places too. But yeah, it's in real life it is one. I'm not going to say it is the only rare ore that can be used to make copper. I think there are other ores that copper can be derived from, but it's one of the ores that makes copper in real life too. Yeah, so that's about everything. So now we just need to print a new thruster and we can be on our way. Heading back home to Silver. Oh, I forgot the damn research item again. I'm going to go back down and get that. Yeah, so as part of the automation update, I reckon that'd be one of the things you could do with the arms. Again, I haven't actually looked into it. I don't know how they work. I don't know what things you can do. I just know that there was an automation update and you can automate things. So one of the things I imagine you'd be able to do is get it to automatically load more research items into the research chamber, which would be useful, especially if you're not on that planet. Because when it finishes, if you're not on that planet, you can't load a new one in unless there was some sort of automation that helped you load it in, so... yeah. Kind of a nice little addition. Does nothing for me at the moment, because I'm not going to go and look at the automation stuff until I've sort of gotten to the level of the game where I've got all the resources and can do all the things at will, frequently. Alright. Oops. Back into the ship. Oh, wait a minute. The other thing I was going to do was I was going to stay here until I learned that. It is very tempting now to consider that maybe I should stick around on this planet with its much greater amount of research point production until I've at least researched the next ship, if not already actually made the next ship as well. Wow, I don't know what that is. Ah, it didn't leave a seed. Alright, whatever it is, it doesn't leave seeds. Alright, so there were research items here that I could see from the distance, so I'm just going to take these back to base to have and to hold till death do us part. No. It's going to take a while to get all that research together, whereas I could just go back and be getting on and prepping to move to the next planet. Vesania. The thing is, it would be nice to have the bigger ship to go to Vesania, because then I could take more stuff with me. Yeah, I think we'll stick around until we've got enough research points to make the Vesania trip easier by being able to take more useful stuff with me. Which means I might as well be running around on the surface of this planet looking around. Ooh, there's a nice free solar panel. Awesome. Yep, definitely going to take... and a battery. Wow, that's a good one. Oh. Yes, I have a full backpack full of copper. Alright, we'll take the battery back first, and then we'll come back for the solar panel. And this was where those few bits of ammonia was. I don't know whether that would have been enough to actually give me a full ammonia resource that I needed to craft my new thruster, but oh well, it was here. I'm not using that at the moment, so let's put that there. Head back over here because there was a free solar panel, and free solar panels are awesome. Especially on a planet like this. But yeah, it is really just going to be grinding a little bit of research bytes, sorry, until we are ready to return. The increased power production that I now have, thanks to that extra solar panel, and the fact that it is day, might also help, because it'll speed up the research chamber. There is a max speed that the research chamber can go at, but it will go slower if it doesn't get enough power. So it is best to have it as powered as possible. And yeah, 2 solar panels with nothing else running is probably going to be close to its max. I would imagine anyway. I don't think you could really get any more. I'm pretty sure I saw there that even with a single solar panel, the batteries were already fully charged, which means that the research chamber isn't using any more than what is being provided. So we are going at max bytes at the moment, but we are still only at 2,000 and I need 3,750. So 4,000 for all intents and purposes, really. As near as makes little to no difference. So we'll keep exploring, see if we can find more research bytes and more research items. It's tempting to make a second research chamber here on Calidor because of the sheer amount of research items that I'm finding and the amount of research that you get out of them. But it feels a little wasteful, so I'm not going to do that for now. Another 2 minutes and 50 before that one's done. Didn't really see any underground. Let's go underground and see if maybe there were some research bytes down there that I'd missed. Just hadn't spotted because I hadn't really looked around much. Wander around for a little bit and see what there is to be seen. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Try not to get lost. There's a few. Here's a few. Alright. So yeah, you see, a good 150 from these. That's a good solid amount. These underground mineral ones are a bit slow to regrow though, so yeah. Not as useful or as quick to gather as the above surface ones. No, don't want to go down that way because that's a big old hole. Also don't want to go too far from base because more than once I've been lost. And yeah, it is very annoying. You don't want to get lost. Lose your backpack, lose all your stuff, lose all the resources you had. You might not be able to find your way back. Sometimes you can, sometimes you just can't. Here's a couple more, so this is a good spot. We'll go and get these. There's a lot of quartz over there. That's kind of nice, but not at the moment. Bit of debris, but not useful debris. There's another research item. We'll take that back upstairs and see what kind of research bytes level we're at now. Should be almost time for the research chamber to need a reload. Yeah, I basically want enough bytes to research the ship, but I will make the ship with my much more plentiful power and resources back on the main planet Silver. Yeah, nearly there now. Need another 250 bytes, that'll take little to no time. Can grab a couple more off the top of these cacti. It's like nearly another 100 there, so that'll bring us down pretty low. Let's see if there's any more research bytes just over here. Doesn't look like it. There is another research sample. We'll grab that while we're here. Yeah, so absolutely tons of research samples on Calidor. It is one of the places where I will often have more than one research chamber going, but for now we're not going to go that route. Something that I'll get to a bit later. Whew, about 100. Let's see now, wasn't there a plant here somewhere? No. Must have been imagining things. There is a plant around here somewhere that also gave me a few more research bytes. These little rock outcroppings, sometimes, just occasionally, they will have another research object underneath them. So it's worth looking under them sometimes, not all the time. If you're looking for research items, like you've used all the ones in your local vicinity, you can dig them up and look underneath and see if you can find another one. Like I said, it's not always going to have it, but it will sometimes have it. But yeah, I'm kind of inundated with research items at the moment. Ah, there we are. Time to put another one on the machine. About 50 bytes, not much left, we're waiting on. Why aren't there any other cactuses around here? There's some cacti. Oh, nope, very few cactuses. There's a few. But it doesn't look like there's any research bytes on these. Must have gathered them too recently. Let's go look at these. There's one. And that'll probably do it. Yep. Why have I got figurine platform selected now? That would have been bad. I would have wasted heaps of bytes. Alright. Now we know how to make a medium shuttle. We can head home. And we will do that when we return to Silver. And then we'll start preparing to head to Vesania. Alright, I've got a full load of malachite on board, as well as in my backpack. So, let's go. Homeward bound. Oh, that's it over there, I believe. Yep, that's Silver. See my base from here, so I'll have to wait for the world to rotate around far enough. But yes, I can't emphasize enough how good of a game this is for its simplicity. I have no idea how big of a team the developers are, but I would imagine that this isn't made by a very big team. It feels like one of those really good indies. But yeah, I was very surprised. I saw it in early access in its earliest iterations, and I wasn't ready to pull the trigger yet because it didn't look like there was much to do. Some of the reviews stated as much, like, yeah, there's not much to do yet. But then, it didn't take very long before people started raving about it and going on about how good it was, and, you know, there's so much to do, and I was like, there's so much to do? Did they reach that point already? And yes, they did, very quickly. Didn't take them very long to get there. So I pulled the trigger, and I started playing it, and I got pretty addicted. I didn't know what I was doing for a long time, so that was one of the problems. It took me a long time to actually work out how to play the game, how to progress. But once you sort of get the hang of it and have some idea on what the game's progression is, like for example getting down into the different subsurface layers, I was looking for holes in the ground and climbing down them, and sometimes they wouldn't go far enough. You know, you'd have to have a tether line that was hundreds of meters long towards a hole that went down into the center of the planet. It never occurred to me to just dig my own hole. I mean, you start with a terrain deformation tool, and it never occurred to me to dig my own hole. Eventually, one day, it did. And I was like, oh, I could just dig a hole. And the entire game changed for me. Alright, 1 aluminium alloy and ceramic. Aluminium alloy, that's just copper and aluminium, I believe. Yep, so we're going to need to make 1 copper, going to need to make 1 aluminium. What was it? Aluminium alloy and 2 ceramic. Do I have 2 clay lying around here? It doesn't look like I do. Alright, so I'm going to have to load my soil centrifuge up. Make some clay. Then I'm going to have to make 2 ceramic. This is a spare one of these. Ah, yes. This chemistry lab is one of the few places where I tend to need 2 storage modules, sometimes even more later in the game, just because of all the things you end up loading onto it. When you get far enough into the game, you start needing gases and things as well. So you end up like with an entire medium storage module filled up with just the assorted gases that you need. And then having this one over here to load the resources that you need for the particular thing that you're trying to make at the time. Again, it probably would behoove me to actually learn how to use storage better. Like I mentioned in a previous video, you can actually stack storage. So a large storage module, you can stack medium storage modules onto a large storage module and thereby increase the amount of storage you've got. But not only do I find that it looks really messy, I mean the whole point of storage is sort of to make things neater and more organized. I find it makes things look worse. But it also seems kind of wasteful when a pile of stuff on the ground works just as well. Alright, so there's our aluminium. Oh yes, we need 2 of these, so these might as well go straight onto here. Let's find a hole. Research that sample while I have the opportunity. I don't know what I was digging here, but I'm going to use this as a hole to refill my canisters. Just because. Oh boy, don't fall any further than one has to. Full canisters. Always good when moving to a new planet to have full canisters ready. Right, there's our aluminium alloy is done. There's 1 ceramic is done. Might as well start prepping for the Vesania trip as well. So we're going to need another large platform B, just like we always do. And because we're actually going to be upgrading our shuttle to a larger shuttle, we will now have more space than we did previously. We will, in fact... Oh dear, can I not pick this resource up again? I just can. Cool. We will, in fact, be able to just make the soil centrifuge and take it with us. So one of the first things I'm going to do is this fuel thruster is not used up, but this shuttle no longer serves a purpose, so it can get off the platform. You can't scrap the shuttles. That kind of annoyed me. That even with the biggest shredder, you can't scrap the shuttles. I would have liked to have been able to scrap the shuttles. Now that I no longer need the smaller shuttle and I've got a bigger shuttle, it would have been nice to be able to scrap them, but you just, you can't. It's slight annoyance. Not much you can do about it. Alright, let's have a quick look at Vesania again, so we can plan ahead. Alright, there's lithium and there's titanite, so there's no wolframite on there, there's no malachite on there. will definitely take one tungsten with us then, so we can make a chemistry lab while we're there. What else am I going to need? Could take some copper, but I don't think I'm going to bother with that. What I am going to do though is I'm going to make some more medium solar panels and a medium wind turbine to take with, because we're going to need that. Going to need another oxygenator, which means we're going to need another clay and another aluminium, but I'm out of aluminium, so I've got to go look for aluminium. Down we go. Once again I look up and realize it has been half an hour, which means that we're going to have to call it there. So in our next video we will begin the search at this level, or possibly the next level down, for some more aluminium. Probably the next level down. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you can hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. Makes it nice and easy to find the channel. And if you'd like to get notifications, hit that bell icon. Now, if you didn't like this video, that's fair enough. Hit that dislike button. That's what it's there for. But if you didn't, I would really appreciate it if you could leave me a comment. Let me know what it was about the video you didn't like. Perhaps I can improve in the future. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.